I know you've done this on BrownsFilmBreakdown.com. Free agency, trade market, draft. You feel there's some intriguing forecasted options for the Browns at tackle. Which ones make sense, do you think?
Well, the Rasheed Walker one, I'm in the process of putting up film on him today. He's the premium offensive tackle available at the position, and Green Bay's willing to let him go. They have a young guy they want to play there at that position next year. Listen, put it this way: any of the guys that hit free agency at tackle or in the trade market are guys who have warts, right? They're either not as good as their sort of free agency rank would tell you they are, because again, any free agent that really, really matters, and I'm talking really matters, is getting tagged, right, or getting re-signed by his team. So those guys who come about the market are going to be overpaid because there's everybody getting a chance at signing them. And they usually, again, why did the original team let that player go? It's very rare to find the premium talent hitting the market with youth to tie to them. Because again, Rasheed Walker's pretty young. So listen, he'd be better than what the Browns put out there last year, but is he $80 million contract over 4 years, $50 million guaranteed good? No, he's not. He's not. But that's the world you live in with free agency, so you start to get a little bit uneasy about that. Walker Little's an interesting trade candidate because he's down in Jacksonville. He's been replaced, so that tells you the story of he has been inconsistent. Now injuries probably cost him that. He moved inside late in the year, played a little guard. But again, if you're the Browns and you're trying to have some answers in place in case things don't fall the way you hope they do in April's draft, you sort of can do that. You can maybe swing a late round pick swap and the player. Wouldn't be against that so much. It's really about how much you want to invest and what you have to tie yourself to sign some of these guys. Like Braden Smith's interesting. We did a podcast over the last 7 days where we looked at every position on offense, including the offensive line, and really dug in on offensive tackle, offensive guard, and the centers included, about which guys make the most sense at the price point. There's a really good free agency class here of middle tier. I would call them the just below average to just above average group. There's a really good core there. And the Browns should be shopping in that core, not the guys that you have to pay $25 million guaranteed dollars over 2 or 3 years. I think they need to be budget friendly, try to find basement lifters, get the bottom of the level of the room lifted, and then take your swings in the draft and probably 3 or 4 times. They have a slew of picks, right? Take some swings in the draft and try to continue to get younger at that position, but also more budget friendly at that offensive line setup, right? So I think there's interesting options there. And I have not been opposed to Daniel Jeremiah put out a mock where he had the Browns taking Francis Muaga there, the offensive guard tackle. I think he's a tackle. He's a tackle because he's getting drafted to premium position. We'll see if he can stick. I think he will. Out of Miami, or he might have had them taking Spencer Fano, the offensive tackle out of Utah, but then also doubling up and taking a tackle at 24. I think he had them taking it wasn't Blake Miller, but Freeland from Georgia. So it's not crazy to think that with how scarce offensive tackles are, and this draft kind of falling where it may, we're 39. I talked to Jordan Reed from ESPN today on a podcast that's going to air for us over the weekend. He has 20 wide receivers with top 3 round grades. It's a very deep, maybe not a Jamar Chase or think about a Garrett Wilson at the very top of it. The Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Tyson group may not be as elite as some years have had at the top, but this is a very, very deep group of players that are going to be NFL contributors at the wide receiver position. So I'm not even opposed to looking at pick 39, like an Omar Cooper from Indiana, Chris Bell from Louisville. There's a lot of really interesting options at 39 if they're compelled to feel like the best player available is that offensive tackle, because it's such a scarce position as it is. So yeah, there's certainly intrigue for me looking at that. Lean into offensive tackle. It's just the offensive tackle play has been so bad for 3 years. They've got to figure it out.